faster than last year, like 79 snaps in the game. Were you pleased with that?
Very pleased. You know, I don't look at total snaps because if you noticed in the fourth quarter, we were snapping the ball with 4 seconds on the play clock every time. We had, I don't know the exact number of official plays, but we snapped the ball 48 times in the first half. At the end of the third quarter, it was 76 times. So we were moving at a pretty quick tempo. Again, I judge it at how quickly we're snapping the ball with in terms of the play clock, and that's as fast as we've moved since I've been here.
Mike, I know you guys had, I think, a 20-second play clock in practice going back to spring. Is the goal to have the snap off by the 20-second mark on the play clock?
Sure. There's we have a bunch of different tempos, but in our base tempo, yeah, we want to have the ball snapped with more than 20 seconds left on the play clock, and we were able to do that 20-plus times this past game.
You guys didn't take a lot of shots downfield, only took a couple. Was that because of what Utah State was giving you, or is that going to be something we're going to see in the offense more, throwing it out quickly to the flat?
Well, actually, I thought we took 6 shots downfield. Maybe we didn't see more because they were all incomplete. That's that's part of what we need to correct. All camp long, I thought we've had very good deep ball accuracy, and we were 0 for 6 on the shots we took downfield. So again, we worked on it this week, and we'll look to improve.
You talked about the running efficiency and percentages. How do you kind of calculate that? What do you take into consideration there in terms of the running efficiency?
Run efficiency is a run that is 4 yards or more, or gets the distance needed for a first down. So if it's 2nd and 2 and we gain 3 yards, it's an efficient run.
So if it's about the percentage of plays that either gain 4 plus yards or get you
the distance
down.
needed. Okay. Exactly.
What does Arkansas State do that you guys have to be aware of on their defense side of the ball for your offense?
Well, they're very sound schematically. They play disciplined football with good gap integrity in the run game. They're very, very experienced in the back end. They're back 4. They have 2 preseason all-conference DBs plus a Jim Thorpe watch list corner. So they have a lot of experience back there. They're a bigger physical group that runs well, and they played a lot of football games. Their linebackers are very physical, good size, good strength. Particularly their Will Backham was really well. So, and again, both those guys, the Will and the Mike, both have a lot of snaps under their belt. Their nickel has a lot of experience. They have 2 guys with lots of game starts. So they're an experienced group, and they've won a lot of ball games, so they know how to play the game.
What are some of the things they do schematically? I mean, just what do they do well?
Schematically, again, they're very sound defense. You can tell that they don't do a ton schematically, but what they do it well.
Mike, just how pleased were you with Justin's performance?
Justin did exactly what we asked him. I think first and foremost, not turning the ball over is critical. When you turn the ball over, I don't care how well or poorly you're doing offensively, you have a chance to win. So walking out of that game with 0 turnovers was great, not just for Justin, but for our whole offense, and that's a goal of ours every week. Other than that, he managed the football game. He made good decisions, threw the ball on rhythm for the most part. A few of his incompletions were where he was off rhythm, and again, we're always looking to improve on that.
Mike, I know you probably asked this already, but the O-line shuffle, how do you kind of deal with that into one game, and how do you manage trying new pieces, but also still managing a young group of guys that haven't played a lot, period?
Well, the good thing is the way we practice, our starters and our backups all get a bunch of reps, close to equal numbers. So those guys are coming in with a lot of reps under their belt in practice, and now they just got to get used to playing when the lights go on.
When you looked at those struggles on the offensive line in the run game, was that a push thing? Was that a technical thing? What did you see there?
Again, at 50% efficiency, it's more so just being one guy away. We talk about playing as 11 hats on the same page, and on multiple occasions we were one player away, and we use that as an illustration to our offense as much as anything to demonstrate how close we are to being really, really good. Once we get that minor correction, I think we can be more effective in the run game.
Mike, for you to be efficient at an optimum level on offense, does Worley have to carry the ball more?
No. We were efficient this past game, and he only carried the ball. But 2 design runs, actually 1 design run and a scramble, plus two 0-yard scrambles. So, we can definitely manage with a quarterback that doesn't necessarily carry the football.
Did he make the right decisions on your zone reads?
Yep.
For the most part?
There was 1 incorrect decision where he could have pulled it and didn't.
He said he could have pulled it and carried it a couple more times. I guess.
Yeah, it's a pretty subjective call in that regard. And I give the guys a little bit of leeway, but schematically speaking, there was only 1 time where his failure to pull it caused a 0-yard gain.
Coach, with so many young guys playing their first game last week, and you anticipate most improvement being made between the first and second game. Just when you look at Jalen, what are just like some simple things that you can correct and have him get better?
I'd say number one, just footwork in the run game. Making sure he's a little more consistent there. Number two, his reads, and last week was a little bit different, schematically because of what they were doing, but just being more consistent with his reads.
And some of this same situation of wideouts. Those young guys playing the first time and still showing up. Ethan, Josh, Vaughn, obviously. What are some, if you're being critical, what are some things?
Yeah, and I was just thinking, I'm sitting here thinking with Jalen, did a good job overall. Like I said, we'd like to, you saw it on the screenplay that he took for the touchdown. Did a really good job on the screen of making guys miss at the second level. We'd like to see that a little bit more in the run game, but overall, all those guys did a pretty good job. At the wide receiver position, again, we're always going to stress playing with great effort, playing with great technique, and weren't too many MAs, which was good to see from a young group. So it's a matter of just cleaning up our technique.
And I know you guys are going to see better athletes on defense, but just to see, like when Vaughn catches the little play and makes two guys miss, turns it into 12. Just as a play caller, how fun is that to watch?
I mean, look at the touchdowns we had on Alton's speed, on Alton's jet sweep. He made a guy miss in space. On Jalen's touchdown, he made multiple people miss. Vaughn made the guy miss. And same thing with Marlon. We talk a lot about getting more than what the play is designed for. We can go out and get any running back or receiver that can catch the ball and get tackled. Okay, the difference makers are the guys that can break tackles or make people miss, and we stress that all the time about learning how to run after the catch and learning how to run at the second level, and those guys demonstrated a great ability to do that. As a play caller, it makes me right when I'm wrong, and maybe they have an extra hat at the point of attack, and when we can make a guy miss, that relieves a little bit of pressure.
Are you pleased with the timing of the passing game?
Yes.
Was it what you thought it would be going in?
Yes. Again, Justin got off rhythm. I can think of 2 or 3 throws in particular that his feet got a little messed up. But overall, he got rid of the ball on time and did a good job.
Would you like to see a better percentage of completions down the field? Some of the long passes will.
Sure. Our vertical, our deep ball actually wasn't very good, and we need to improve that.
How do you improve it?
Keep practicing.
Which says the most improvement for a team comes between week 1 and 2. How much do you expect that to be true for the running game?
Well, I think in general, technique, understanding the speed of the game across the board. Run game, pass game, offense, defense, special teams, you name it. I expect to see it from week 1 and week 2.
What are some things with the line and the backs that they could continue to improve on heading into this Arkansas State game?
Again, I'd say timing, sustaining blocks at the second level.
Talk a little bit about what Arkansas State presents defensively.
Again, a very experienced group at the second level. In particular, they return 4 starters in the back end at their DB position, 2 all-conference players, and another Jim Thorpe watch list corner. And perhaps one of their best DBs might be the guy that's the new starter. He's replaced a guy that started last year. So they're very experienced and they're physical on the back end. They can close windows quickly and they break and drive very, very quickly. Their linebackers are physical and move well side to side. They're simple schematically, which means that they do their job well. Is how I see it.
What do they do coverage-wise? We talk a lot about the DBs. Just what kind of, are they kind of a press team? Like, how do they sort of operate in terms of defending?
They play significantly more zone than man coverage. Quarters-based coverages, 3 deep, 3 under coverages. But they do a good job of visioning the quarterback and keeping everything in front of him.
After looking at the film, what did you think of Justin Worley's performance?
He managed the game very well. He did everything we asked him to do. Managed protections well. I was happy with his performance.
Did you see any comfort level rise as the game went on?
Sure. I wouldn't say necessarily as the game went on. He went in pretty confident and remains to be confident. If you're going to be a good quarterback, that's how you have to play the game. And he's done a good job all through training camp and into week 1.